What up, Neppy? Nap.
What's good?
We are going into week 9. Is it a week 9 NFL we're talking about?
Week 8. Time's flying, boy.
Oh, wait. Oh, so I was thinking week 9 stashes. I'm getting ahead
our
of the
stash.
show.
Yeah.
Stash ass grab. Yes, we're going into week 8. It is a Tuesday night as this is recording as we always do. It'll be available in the morning. How you doing, man? I was out and traveling all last week, so I didn't watch like any of the games. I'm going into this show completely blind. I feel like
that's
so.
All right, man. It's gonna be a little hit and run.
I will represent the kind of the average man who I need to be caught up and I need to be informed for my game. I lost my week 7.
Lost to me, brother.
I did. You are showing more life, a little pulse. It's you have some very you've had some questionable trades and moves with your transactions, and I'm looking at you because I see your name on the trophy 3 times over the course of the year. So seeing if you could pull a rabbit out of your hat. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. Like you say, won the second game now. I'm feeling like some of these other squads. Some of these people like the Saints, wondering are they going to get this Derek Carr that they see in the rest of the season. I'm feeling like these Seahawks. They're running the ball well, but they got to depend on Geno. Is Geno going to put out these next 5-6 weeks? So I'm looking at my players like, let's go. Who's riding? I'm feeling good though, confident. Definitely building confidence. You know what I mean?
Cool, man. Well, we can touch back on the end there when we recap our own little news in the
yeah, man. We go into a crazy week. I'll tell you what wasn't crazy, or I guess crazy in the sense that no injuries, nothing real major. We had one motherfucker that was sick. Apparently this Bijan Robinson story, motherfucker missed, I think 54 out of 64 snaps due to illness. Some people saying a migraine. I don't know. It reminds me of Cat Williams, should have gave him 13 aspirin. He might have been all right, but apparently that's a story. Other running backs, not necessarily, like I said, injuries this week, but lingering shit. Aaron Jones, is this guy healthy or what? You know what I mean? The motherfucker just doesn't practice every week. Allen Iverson, and then shows up to the game, and then he ends up being on the sideline every game. You're not going to bench a cat like this when he's playing. But Aaron Jones, I think the page might have turned on the caliber he is. I think he might have dropped down a tier, or at least that's what we're witnessing. But yeah, man, other than that, not much on the injury forefront, unless I'm missing something. Last bit I wanted to touch on, not really a player, but Washington Commanders. Oh, all right, yeah. Let's go to DW4. Let's switch gears. I guess I wouldn't. I don't know, man. Deshaun, what do you think, man? I don't want to get on my tangent with Deshaun, man. That guy's an Instagram type guy. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know if he really got hurt, man, because I think they cleared him out of the concussion protocol. He could have came back in, bro. But I think
I saw something today from Adam Schefter or someone that, or Ian Rappaport, one of the guys. It was something to the nature of like, yes, he was cleared, but he was still like not 100%. So it was
wobbly, or
it was like
they thought they had a better chance though to win the game with PJ than Deshaun. Didn't that say something, man? That's $230 million, bro. I don't know.
I mean, you're human. Just because you cleared concussion protocol doesn't mean like you're like 100%. And so, yeah, if one guy's in there 100% and your body, it's like, I don't know. Was the story that he refused to go in, or the coaches were just like, PJ's playing well enough, just stay put? Like, that's, if you looked at Twitter or X when I did, Deshaun was trending everywhere. And that's what everyone was insinuating, that either he refused to go in or the coaches were just like, no, I don't think we're gonna win with you. So like, I don't think
either way it's kind of messed up either way, isn't it? From the outside looking in, like, it's not a good situation either way. Whether it was they thought PJ was a better chance to win, or if well, it was
like in that moment. That's what I'm saying. I don't have all the information, but I would
trying
say
to save him from future, or further injuring maybe.
I mean, even the best quarterbacks can be hurt and stuff. I don't know. That is weird. I think overall, though, like, yes, Deshaun hasn't really panned out and hasn't returned to the form he was in at his prime in Houston. And not that he's past his prime. He could still find that. But with being out in the season, the injuries now, I don't know. He just he's shown glimpses of it, though. So
hey, I mean, what else around the NFL? It was National Tight Ends Day Sunday. You know, K who kind of primed us beforehand. Big day for tight ends all around. I will mention Zach Ertz is on IR now, so that's just another tight end off the board, and I've already slim, slim pickings. So,
Well, I think you
but
wanted to just do something new here before we get into all the topics of the day. You
yeah,
have a
yeah.
clip from this past week 7. Do you want to look at that? We're going to share that. So,
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple clips. Some kind of
okay.
just prove how we did, in who we picked last week on who to stash and who to pick up off the waiver. And in case there's some doubt, I guess a video's 1,000 words, or what is it? A picture's 1,000 words.
Picture's worth 1,000 words. All right.
Video's worth
Well,
whatever Kim Kardashian got.
let's put up the board. Let's see what you got. So we're looking at a clip here of the Colts versus the Browns, Week 7.
Man, I mean, if you got quarterback problems, I got 99 problems, man, but a bitch ain't one. Minshew right here. This is all we need. This is an apology from years ago. I'm sorry I doubted this man, but let's go ahead and roll it, man. I mean, this guy, mind you, this is a second string guy. Didn't get any of the reps back in the summer.
All right, we're rolling.
And you guys already know this is one of the top 2-3 defensive units right here in the Browns. I mean, is this more a video on Minshew or is it on Josh Downs, a rookie? Kid's only, I think, 5'9", quick, but he's obviously, they're not scared to put him on the outside. I say he's cover one here, man, but you see that safety just bites off the wrong route. He bites off the crosser coming.
Is it cover 1? It looked like almost like cover 2, like he's
I think it was cover 1, but yeah, that's. And what else you got here, man? That's just a little thing showing.
So one thing is right now it looks like we have a D lineman jumping off side, so it's a free play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So throws it down, and it looks like he's gotten beat on the cover 1. The cornerback just kind of stays down, whether he bites down or doesn't take his man. But it's a nice throw and catch.
Man. Good celebration.
Good celebration with the shimmy shoulder. So yeah, if you're listening to us on Spotify, Spotify we have video now, but if you're listening to audio, probably not doing much for you. But we'll move on after this. But yeah,
what else you got here? There's another one, Minshew to Pittman, and again, this is just showing rhythm. The ball coming out quick. Last week we touched on system type quarterbacks. This is just showing a guy that's comfortable in the system of a guy that's more than competent. And the Colts are super dangerous with Minshew, man. Especially with AR hurt, shut down for the season. I mean, this only improves the Colts' chances, man, which,
All right, well, let's get into it. Do you want to go into sell or buy?
Yeah, sell or buy. Let's see.
The clock. It's 7 minutes. Let's go.
Let's get it. Let's go. First, we kind of hit on our bad calls last week. There's always a bad call here or there, but I was, Mostert. You know what I mean? I was wondering, is that a guy it's time to sell on Mostert because the injury bug is around the corner? Adam Thielen, I'm sitting here saying, hey, this guy's an automatic start. He had a bye week, so we'll see what they do this week. But Raheem Mostert, I guess I'm wrong on that. So far, he's still holding up. He's still getting the yards, obviously, with we still can't say this motherfucker's name, but Jackie Chan, whatever his last name is, especially with your boy out still on IR. For this week, though, I want to know how you feel about Austin Ekeler. Is this the guy? You still buying into Ekeler, man, or is it time to sell, or what's going on?
I think he's doing well. Because he's only really had 2 games, so it's hard for me to just get too crazy. Like the sell kind of proposition here would be that he's coming off an ankle injury, and it looks like he may have. Was it the same ankle? Did he re-aggravate it in game?
Yeah, exactly.
He re-aggravated it. That's not what you want to see. And these things like hamstring and ankles can linger throughout the season. So I don't know. To that point, it does.
Last 2 games, bro.
Nah.
Last 2 games, right? I had it down 14 carries, 27 yards. The game before that, 14 carries, 45 yards. Maybe 1 or 2 receptions between those last 2 games. That's not Austin Ekeler like. I think you nailed it on the nail, man. A guy that's just not healthy yet. So if you think, or if you foresee him getting healthy, getting back to 100% sooner than later, I mean, it might be a guy you go ahead and commit to, buy low, see if you can get him, from that owner that's probably fed up with him. What can you trade? This is what we hear in a lot of other pods. I love this part. I mean, who would you be willing to give up your Austin Ekeler for? So not Deontay Foreman, right? He just came off a career type game, 33 points. You're not trading somebody for someone you just got off the street, right? So
no,
Kenneth Walker.
So me and Kyle were toying with the trade before I kind of realized we were completely wrong on the bye week that Austin Eckler was on. And it was basically Josh Jacobs for Austin Eckler. And the way I kind of was pitching it to Kyle was, okay, so I have a struggling or a unhealthy Austin Eckler. He's going to be good. He just needs to get healthy. So it's basically, hey, if you have the riches to buy someone and have, hit pay dirt later in the season. So Kyle, I think anyway, the idea was that I get Josh Jacobs now. He's ready to go, even though the Raiders are kind of struggling. It's trying to encompass all the things that are happening around the players versus just the players themselves. But the idea was like I was going to give him the Dallas Cowboys defense and Austin Eckler. So I was trying to sweeten the pot with like, okay, Austin Eckler isn't good to go now. So you also get the Dallas Cowboys defense, which is ready to go and they're playing well. I get Josh Jacobs and he's ready to go now. So that was kind of you have to sweeten the pot. I don't think you can get it one for one.
Yeah.
You have to come to the table. My point is something to sweeten the deal to incentivize whoever's taken Eckler from you that they need something to play now because basically they're going to be in the same boat. Nobody wants a player that they can't play immediately. So either they have to be like deep in running backs and they're just adding to their stable, or you're throwing in like another player. That's the way I kind of see it. If you really want to ship them.
If somebody's on the fence, I'll tell you now, keep Eckler, bro, because the rest of the season looks super friendly. Same with the next guy we about to mention. But before I move on to him, again, he hasn't had any TDs. That's Eckler in that last stretch of 2 or 3 games. So let's just he's overdue is what I'm saying. So I don't think you want to move him now. We don't want that to happen, right? You move him, and that boy start balling out. Aaron Jones, though, we touched on him earlier. Is this guy just having that hamstring, just limiting him, or is he scared to re-aggravate that himself? That's another guy, though. I mean, if you want to roll the dice, go ahead and buy low. I would avoid it. If you're on the fence, just don't even touch any part of that Green Bay offense. Jordan Love is actually still putting up points fantasy-wise. I know K-Who got him. That's about all you want it through because it's funneling through him. I don't know if you can trust him or Dillon, even though A.J. Dillon had a Christian McCaffrey type game, filling in last week. But even the receivers, Christian Watson, Jalen Reed is a rookie that stepped up. But even Dubes, Romeo, these are pass catchers we're just not familiar with. You know what I mean? Watson exploded last year, and he's still the hammy's bugging him. So avoid Green Bay at all costs.
So what do you think about Deonta Foreman? Because I think I was telling you off camera here that, you were kind of like not to be considered. I think he was on third and one of our episodes. Yeah. I mean, things.
He was on the practice squad, man. Yeah. And like the fact that he was on the couch, we see it with Darrell Henderson too, which is another thing. We wanted to touch on that whole Rams backfield, right? But yeah. So Deonta Foreman on the practice squad, on the couch, game days. Same with Darrell Henderson on the Rams. It's familiarity, I think, and I don't know what the familiarity is as far as I guess it's just easier with running backs, maybe. They could just plug in and play. I'm really not sure. But Foreman last year for Carolina, he had 4 double-digit point games. I think he had 2 20-point games, a 30-point game like we saw this Sunday. That was last year for Carolina. You know what I mean? And I think 2 years before that, he was Titans, then the Colts, and then obviously rookie year with Houston.
Well, I was going to say with Houston, remember we thought he was going to be like the next main running back for Houston. He had a lot of promise, and it was more like a player who couldn't get out of his own way, from what I remember.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't really travel. He had to grow up. Yeah, he just had to grow up a little bit. Yeah.
So the point
as far as that,
yeah, go ahead. You good?
No, I was gonna segue to the Rams one real quick. Everybody threw all that dough, made it rain for old Mr. Zach Evans, right? We even said, hey, that's the guy to scoop up his stash. Turns out, the boy was carrying the pads for fucking Royce Freeman and the vet Darrell Henderson. What I wanted to say on that was familiarity. Sean McVay, he knows Darrell Henderson knows his shit. Henderson's, like a bad habit, bro. Just keep coming back every year. You know what I mean? Like, we don't think about him, but he just pop on up and just, hey, we can ride him for a couple more weeks, at least until week 12 when Williams comes back.
All right. Well, we have like 15 seconds, but I think the Foreman thing is interesting. So, what do you think? Do you go out and buy Foreman because he showed play?
I'll tell you, Bob ain't buying. Like? I'll say that. I'll say Bob ain't buying because I've been trying to push Foreman for Josh Downs. People are going to buy for him because Justin Fields is going to come back. that offense is only going to look stronger. DJ Moore almost had another career day. Your boy, he almost had a day like last week.
I know.
2 touchdowns. One got knocked away. The other one, they gave it to him on a either end around or some Russian play, and boy reached out, almost got it. Like he was about to have it, dog. But yeah. Buy. You definitely want to buy. How much you gonna spend? I mean, it's already week 9, bro. Get this guy. Khalil Herbert is the loser here, not you. Go spend that money and get him. Khalil Herbert's the sad one because he's seeing Foreman ball out while he hurt.
Well, I see you had a Foreman actually listed with some in the notes on the deep sleeper target. So what is he? Is he someone to buy, sell high? Is he a stash, or is he someone who can get on the low? Where is he right now in the universe of fantasy football?
Yeah, I say he fits. He slots in right at the top, if not because of talent, just because of opportunity. Him, and then maybe Gus Edwards, and then I would say Darrell Henderson. You know what I'm saying? That's not saying Darrell Henderson's not valuable just because he's the last of these 3. These are just 3 guys I know they got to be available in your league. And really, Gus Edwards being there, that F word today, familiarity. You know what I'm saying? He's just fucking always there every year. These backs go down like flies, and then he ends up, kind of filling in. And getting his touches, right? Everyone wants to say they scared of vulturing from Lamar or whatnot, but yeah. Well, who else we got there? Another tier I would say would be the Amari Pierre Strong tier, right? Amari, who kind of tricked people last week on the Cardinals, didn't I think had a goose egg, comes back this week. Everyone's gonna race for him again. You know what I mean? D shouldn't have dropped him. D dropped him a week early, but I'd say him. Pierre Strong is kind of a deep. That's the Browns cat. Just the fact that Kareem Hunt's not gonna last up there. Hold up. This guy's coming from New England, so I know New England would want him right about now. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully the Browns do something with him.
All right. So I don't have anything really to offer in this category today, just being that I was completely out. But I think
no. I mean, the big thing here is like where you're at and how you play in the waiver wire. Are you playing? I mean, obviously we're all trying to build depth on our team, but this might be the time to cock block some people too. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a guy you're playing and his tight end is questionable, so you want to go ahead and scoop up the next tight end available in case his don't come on, and he's got a tight end that plays at 3:25 on Sundays. So if he don't even get the call till 2:00, all the noon players already gone. You know what I mean? You want to start doing that type of fuckery. That's what I'm doing because I'm already 2-5. I might be out, so I'm trying to play spoiler in any way I can. But what I'm trying to say is, either way, you can have fun on the waiver wire for sure.
Yeah,
even if you don't know what you're doing, right?
And our producer Kyle here has some notes coming in, some good options like in terms of even. I think when we talked about the waiver wire and the stashrooms, we've already talked about players on like how they're trending week to week, but we probably could maybe highlight more about players given the week they're playing, like the competition they're playing. So
this week,
example,
you got some hot ones.
Yeah,
Let's go rapid fire.
All right, so Jeff Wilson versus New England or Rashee Rice versus Denver. Which one are you taking there?
I mean, are we gonna go? I'm going with Jeff Wilson. I always favor the running back.
Ooh, surprising.
Jeff Wilson got to have fresh legs right now. Boy ain't played yet. Coming off, got off that 21-day IR activation window. Now they confident he's coming in. He's gonna get. You got to get at least 5 touches. Think about like Curtis Samuel for the Washington Commanders. He's gonna get some touches just to ease him in.
Both
as far as Rashee Rice
struggling as teams, but Rashee Rice has been kind of pretty hot. I think he had a really good game. I can't remember the last points, but I watched the game and anecdotally I remember just seeing him.
And I'd be interested to see what the AIs would simulate. I'd be interested to see what the AIs would simulate here because Rice, like you say, been hot, hitting it. My intuition is shit. What goes up must come down. So I think he's gonna have that off week, that regression. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say regression in the meat.
I got one for you, bro. Tyler Lockett, right? We got Tyler Lockett here with an kind of injured DK Metcalf and a young Jackson Njigba behind his shoulder. You got that Tyler Lockett against those Browns who we just saw got torched by the Colts and Minshew, or Najee Harris versus Jacksonville. Najee Harris, running like he's 5 years older.
Man, I feel like I haven't been clued into how Harris has been doing. I'm pulling him right now.
Yeah, it's Jalen
So
Warren
last
still
game
kind of.
against the Rams, he got 15 points, and that was the highest of the season. So I would say if you were Kyle, I think he kind of hit on this last year. It seems like a similar production from last year, which is like 5, 5, 6, 11, 5, 15. So that's disappointing if you take him kind of high. And I think I did take him high in a mock draft. So right there, I would be a little worried because Jacksonville still has a very good defense. I think both the
Yeah.
Browns and Jacksonville's their strength is in their front seven than it is in their backfield, their secondary. Unless you can correct me, but I think that's what we saw on tape. In the Browns, I think their rushing defense has been really good. So, yeah, maybe Tyler Lockett. I'd take the Seahawks hot hand of Geno Smith. They haven't been super hot, but they've been decent. I don't know. What do you feel like?
And I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go Najee Harris.
Okay.
For the simple fact here, you, in some instance, I go with you. I want to ride with Geno Smith, but man, I'm telling you, that game with the Colts, I think Minshew was rhythm. 1-2 seconds and the ball was out type shit. Geno, I think that boy got a little big wind up. You know what I mean? I think Myles Garrett going to get back in the backfield a little more, as opposed to how the Colts didn't allow that to happen. But I think it could go either way. I know the Seahawks got a strong running game, so maybe that's how they'll afford Geno some time.
And then we got Rachaad White versus Buffalo or Amari Cooper versus Seattle. I like this one.
So Amari just let us down, man. He let us down last week. Seattle is another very, very receiver-friendly defense to go against. And, I mean, Rachaad White, the Buccaneers are finally starting to churn a little bit, although now the true Baker is starting to come out and show, I guess. Buffalo, I still don't know what kind of squad we got right there, right? Because Josh Allen's just trying to do everything right now. Is that even going to last all season? And obviously, that you can't just throw that New England game out the window. I mean, that's a division game, so we knew it wasn't going to be an automatic one. As much as media was trying to portray, the Bills haven't dominated them since whenever. But yeah, this is a tough one, man. I'm going to keep avoiding Amari Cooper and keep avoiding the Browns and Deshaun Watson. And so I'm gonna roll with Rachaad White and the Bucks on that one versus Buffalo.
All right, and that's enough time. So with that said, we'll go on to the Week 9 stash, looking ahead of the week. So we're going into Week 8. Get ahead, do your homework, and this is to grab players before you're in the oh shit. Let me put in some waiver wire, some collection in on a Wednesday morning when everyone else wants to. So this is what do you got for us?
You got I'm not sure if that clip of Kendrick Bourne made it. Maybe it didn't.
I can.
But if not, it's all good, man.
You can riff on with the notes you have, and I can go.
Yeah. The Kendrick Bourne. We mentioned him last week. That was kind of like just a bonus, balls deep sleeper type shit. And although he didn't have any gaudy numbers come out, man, you see the chemistry on there. You see that he's blocking when he's not getting the ball. And then, like I said, those 4 or 5 looks he gets from Mac Jones, he actually. He's catching it. He's going. And that touchdown, man, it's just going to show you that, I mean, some stuff is schemed and then some stuff is feel. And I don't know if Mac Jones is the type that's going to last in the league because of his feel for the game, but he got the chemistry with Bourne. That might be the only guy he's got the chemistry with out there. And
is this Week 7? Which one was this?
Yeah, it should have been Week 7. Yeah. I might not have made it though. I would have named it either Bourne or Kendrick. Yeah.
Let me see. I think we got it.
Yeah, but yeah. So kind of lost where I was, but as far as the stash ahead, it's getting tougher, man. So I know, like I said, it takes a couple weeks to kind of see who's going to pan out and whatnot, but Zach Ertz, I know we missed on. He hit the IR. Schultz, I think he's still up in the air.
Oh.
QB-wise, we mentioned Andy Dalton. Oh, there we go. Here's that play here.
All right, so what are we looking at here? We have the New England Patriots.
Yeah, there he is. So you're going to see him in a slot there, Bourne. And I just love these kind of rub routes, man. You got him in the bunch, and then watch these DBs on the top there. They just all kind of run into each other and pick each other off, man. And there goes Bourne right there. And, I mean, right there. The motions just to kind of show that it's man. Okay, I think Mac Jones liking what it is, and just another motion in, motion across, motion in, and then you see those three DBs pick each other off there, and Bourne just in. I mean, it's kind of just showing fantasy all in one clip. You know, no matter how much we say this guy's getting a target share, the snap count, blah blah, some shit's just schemed to go to a certain player, and it's gonna work out like that. And, you know, and then it's also feel for some type of guy. So I mean, I'm hoping that some of this chemistry gets shown a little more throughout the season, and I think it's going to be evident with Bourne out there.
And so, what do you think about the struggles around Mac Jones and all of that drama and the Patriots crumbling? What do you make of that? Does that keep you away from really any players on the roster?
Yeah, it definitely would, especially our history with King William O'Brien over on the Texans side, right? Him being the OC, and yeah, seeing those struggles this year, seeing the struggles last year with Matt Patricia, a fucking defensive coordinator at offensive coordinator. Like Belichick was just trying shit out at this point.
Wasn't O'Brien the coordinator there when they were like 18-0 season with Randy Moss?
Yeah, bro. Hell yeah, man. So maybe that offense probably got him a job at Penn State, and then so on.
I think
and
so.
On.
And I don't think we've ever seen. Well, we could say we've never seen success like that. That was close to the Miami Dolphins undefeated-esque. But we have 30 minutes left in this segment. Do you have any more kind of Miss Cleo stashes for us?
I would say you just go ahead and try and find the handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? Last week, the hot commodities were guys like Jordan Mason or Elijah Mitchell, right? Go for the guys that no one's talking about right now. Last week we mentioned Zach Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker's backup, right? Think other positions, tight end, bro. Tight end. A lot of these rookie tight ends, they're kind of just slotted behind the starter waiting to go off. Dalton Kincaid, we got a preview of him earlier, right? This is a cat that, he might not have worked out week 1, 2, or 3, and whoever drafted him with high hopes in the beginning of the season has already dropped him, right? If he's there, scoop his ass back up. One man's trash, another man's treasure. Now's the time where the injuries are piling up, or the sicknesses are piling up, or the players are getting caught and getting arrested for speeding in a vehicle. That type of shit starts piling up to where, hey, everyone's getting opportunities now, man.
Right on. Sorry, I was looking some information up. But I'll save it for the next segment here. But it was almost like a stash. But I think I'm going to continue my whiskey business from last year because I was traveling. I don't really have a really thought out one, so I'm going to continue my point.
I got some good ones too.
You got some good ones? All right, that's great. Do you want to go any more stash? Or you just want to move on to the whiskey business?
Let's go to the whiskey biz. All
right.
Stash, all I got to say, like I said, just try and find that handcuff right now. It doesn't matter what the player's name is, man. You know what I mean? It's like I said, find Tony Pollard's back up. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. You got Kenneth Walker's guy. These guys are getting the majority of these carries, Talked about Austin Ekeler.
It'd be fun to really understand or hear from other people about what kind of leagues they're in. We always talk about and Art always speaking of a perspective of 10 to 12 people. Sometimes leagues are smaller, and so it really changes about who's getting stashed or who you can pick up. And sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's also fun to kind of have more of the key players to play with anyway. But to that said, I've noticed Spotify has reintroduced the Anchor call-in link. So that link is now in our bio. You can hit that link and you can then send in a call. We had a kind of makeshift version of that. It wasn't really good. So that's back now. And so when people send a voice memo, we can actually include that into the shows and respond to them. I think we got to get more of that out. So it'd be cool to reach back into our bag of tricks from when we first started the podcast, because I think that was a key driver and it was a lot of fun. It was more interactive. So we'll try to promote that more. But let's go into the whiskey business this hour, presented by Economy Liquor, your choice for retail and commercial liquor goods in Galveston, Texas. I believe they were the second voted highest ranked liquor store behind Specs, and Specs is your biggest chain. You're not going to get the kind of hospitality you get at the local Economy Liquor there in Galveston, right off the seawall.
Independence, we Independence, boy, like Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have the reviews, but I've read some reviews. And by the way, our own Nappy Nap is the owner of Economy Liquor. If you haven't put 2 and 2 together, but this guy cares about you, cares about what you're doing. I think I read a cool review where a guy was talking about how you were his favorite vendor for his wedding, and you actually worked with him about what you needed, and then actually returned it back. So you can tell like how good you are with people through the reviews. It's pretty cool. So all the congratulations to you, sir. And on that, we'll raise our glass. But whiskey business. So this has become basically our kind of rant and bitch hour, where we kind of push back against the noise. And last week, I went on a little rant about one of the most popular fantasy football podcasts out there said, hey, if you have Dalton Schultz, he's going to bye week, drop him. Go get Michael Mayer. He's going to be up and coming hot new tight end with the Las Vegas Raiders. I was about to say Oakland Raiders. Anyway, I actually did put in a waiver of $30, which is not, pretty big chunk of change for, I think ours was 200. I do like the idea of like getting him early, but his last week was a complete dud. I think he got 3 points against Chicago. So yeah, I would be very upset if I dropped Dalton Schultz for a 3-point game last week. So I think, he did have some other shine. I think before that, a 12-point game, but there's nothing really there at this point to kind of go off and say, yeah, this is going to be like, it's super speculative. It's just, and if you're talking about in stocks, they always say, you got to be careful of speculation, because that's you're hanging your hat on like what your intuition and what you feel is going to happen, but it's nothing really substantial. But what do you got? You got anything for us?
Man, I mean, kind of piggyback off that, like what people are trying to suggest this week, at least the consensus is CBS, Fantasy Pros, Fantasy Bros, whatever the fuck it is. Everyone's hot on this Baltimore offense, Todd Monken, offensive coordinator, new look led type bullshit. And our favorite word, we ain't brought it back this year yet. I mean, until now, so which I'm proud, episode 9. That regression of means, bro. This Baltimore offense ain't shit. Everyone's saying go get Odell. Odell's back. He's looking good. Obviously, I understand it's just for a waiver pickup, so it's not like we're going to trade the bank for him. But still, just suggesting that this Odell character is coming back, that's kind of blasphemy here. The guy did spend all year rehabbing, so I get maybe he's healthy, had a little extra time than these other freaks of nature that we see be coming back less than a year, competing at a high level. But I think it's just more than that with Odell,
So why are they saying Odell's back? Because last week he scored a whopping 9 points, and that's that's all right. It's like my third string receiver, my third.
Yeah,
tier.
And maybe I put too much energy into the Odell part. I might gear that back a little and maybe just say the offense as a whole, Baltimore. Outside of Lamar Jackson, I don't really think anyone's forming up to what they need to be. I mean, let's look up Mark Andrews. I know we got K-Who in there with that's his tight end, isn't it? He's got 2 of the Baltimore Ravens there. He's got Zay Flowers too, who's surprising.
Right. So who has Lamar Jackson? Because he feasted with
Randy.
44 points against Detroit Lions. I guess it was a shootout, or was it one-sided?
Oh, this last game? Oh man, it was they whooped the Detroit Lions' ass. I think it was
that's
a goose egg for most of the game. Yeah. They were running shit like modern day triple options, that counter RPOs and just motion. And like I said, it's hot, but defenses always catch up, man, and they catch up sooner than later. All it takes is a good solid week of film, 2 weeks of film, and I think this is still a one trick pony type offense, and maybe I'm just a hater, but we'll see. I guess it depends. If Zay Flowers is a complete player, might have something there. If Mark Andrews still be balling right now to week 17, 18, all right, we got it then. Lamar Jackson remaining healthy. Hey, so far everyone that signed big money contracts, they've been going down, so
yeah. So Lamar Jackson still hanging strong at the number 4 QB overall. So yeah, man, do you got anything else? That's kind of like a little short one this week, but I think we'll kind of complete your topics next week. So while I was traveling this past week, I got a creative title for a new segment, Spilling the Beans with Beans.
Hey, so, I love it.
My cousin Matt, Matt came up with that because I was telling him about how we did this little economy liquor thing. He's like, you should name it Spilling the Beans. So I was like, I'll have to find a way to work that in because that's just too good.
Yeah.
All right, but so we can maybe close out the show before we go into like the fun what's happening, if we do have any what's happening. But before we got to touch on what's going on in the Balls Deep universe, in the Balls Deep League. Again, this week complete. I felt like I was on a different planet. I was traveling, visiting family out in New York. I literally ended the last show woke up the next morning, start traveling, and then I got back today and we're doing a show. So I caught a little
You're
bit
a
of the
fucking beast, brother.
I caught a little bit of the Giants game. I was like streaming it and stuff at the Airbnb that we were at. But even then, it wasn't a lot. All I know is I think my cousin actually went to the Giants game. So
Oh, nice. All right.
and I think they won.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
wait, I was saying it was funny. I walked in and so you've never been to New York, have you?
Nah, brother.
Anywhere up north, like Jersey, anything like that?
Wisconsin, man.
Oh, we got
born there.
okay. Well, they got diners in Wisconsin. That's a big northern thing, right? Okay, so they got diners and stuff, and I was going in them, and it was fun to be around the New York local, I guess, and to get the vibes of
Yeah,
like
brother.
the Giants won.
Yeah.
Everyone in that area hates the Jets. It's hilarious. I don't know why. I forget. But the funny thing, I remember being more of a Jets fan when I was there. So it was just funny to see to be in a new atmosphere and be like around different football fans, and they were all jacked. They just got their win, so just passionate fans up there. But anyway,
Nah, hell yeah, bro.
yeah, we can go into the Balls Deep League news. And so I think the biggest news coming out of this week, congratulations, you beat me. We talked about it in the beginning of the show, but you're at the bottom of the barrel looking up. You're making these big trades. You've traded away future draft picks. You are on life support, but you're still breathing, and you have a chance. How do you feel?
2-5, man. I feel good. You know, I do feel nervous because we took away a playoff spot this year. So we usually have 8 out of 12 go playoffs. Now it's only 7. And it was pretty cool. I was watching the scoreboard this last weekend, and between Kehu, D, and I think Bernal just all fighting for that 7th seed week to week because their records are kind of all bunched together. So as far as me, though, yeah, man, who knows? Like I said, I'm still going to enjoy it. I'm still going to pick up my moves, find that keeper for next year. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure I find a running back, so I ain't got to worry about it. And, yeah. But, yeah, it's I don't know what else is really going on. Survivor, you know, another guy who got voted off this week, I guess. Oh, it's actually you.
Oh,
So you
no.
You lost and you got voted off.
Damn,
bro.
what a terrible
Yeah.
week. What a terrible week for me. So yeah, let's just. I'll paint a quick picture of how the league's standing right now. We have Steve at 6-1. We've got Bob at 5-2. So Bob's still having a good strong season, and Steve had a strong season last year too. Then we have a lot of 3 and 4 teams. We have a couple 4 and 3 teams, and then we got a couple 2 and 5s, and then you got John Vu at 1 and 6. He might be completely done because he has no room left. And it's funny how just one game where you are what now 2 and 5, right? You know, 2 and 5 and 3 and 4 is a big difference, but it's like one win changes that. So, you know, if Kyle drops or there's another, let's see, Matt and Kyle are both at 3 and 4, they definitely need a win to stay above you. But if one of those drops, and odds are that I think that works in your favor too. Multiple teams at 3 and 4, you know, you have 50% chance like one of them might fail, lose, and then you can get in the race, and then you're in the race. But again, once you get in the playoffs, it has happened. I think right now Steve and Bob's team are showing consistency of strength, and so that's the biggest thing in fantasy.
They've won
football.
the waiver wire too, so
Yeah.
that goes to show like maybe I got to get a little more aggressive next year because those guys were aggressive early on, and with their fab, right, that agency budget.
That ain't fair, man, because like you know, Steve's got older kids and Bob doesn't have kids anymore to babysit. They have the time to attend to that. I feel like everyone else is knee deep in baby shit and diapers right now. It's hard to manage a waiver wire. Like
you got to tell that.
That's
you
a
got to
whole,
get
like,
Siri to remind you, bro. Yeah,
I know that's a whole like topic. Yeah, how do you as a new father manage the waiver wire? It's hard, man. But I think that's you know the week 9 stash is your help. We're trying to get you ahead of 2 weeks of the game.
All right, brother. Well, shit. What's happening?
What's happening? What is happening in the world, Kyle? What's happening?
Man.
Give us something. You've got a lot of stuff. I know. I saw him just go to research rate. He jumped right up.
Oh yeah.
He's crunching the numbers.
Yeah, man.
He's got something weird for us. Do we have any weird celebrity news? That's always a hot thing. What did Britney Spears do?
Hey, I don't have anything on that, man. I do know. I keep seeing clips of Jay-Z, Beyonce's daughter. I guess she finished touring with Beyonce.
Oh,
She dances. She closes out like on each one, 11 years old or something.
I was gonna say that's weird. I'm like when paparazzi in the world get too obsessed with like celebrity kids, unless they're getting in the entertainment industry and you have something to say about them. But just weird how people get up so obsessive. I think I saw, I saw something like the world keeps losing their shit over Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. They have a daughter together, and she looks just like the mom. And it's like,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that's usually what happens. Kids usually look like their parents. Stop chasing them around. They're just fucking getting coffee, or
Yeah,
like they're trying to go to Target.
yeah,
God damn it, so silly.
man.
The Taylor Swift stuff, that is just, I think it's getting on. That's a surprising thing. Everyone just keeps voicing. The average fan keeps voicing like, okay, you've showed it every time Travis Kelce catches a ball. Please
That
stop.
ain't tripping, right?
They
Yeah.
can't. They can't help themselves. They have to show Taylor Swift in the press box. And I got to thinking, when's the last time something like that happened? There's Tony Romo dated Jessica Simpson for a while. She would come to a game, but still they would like show her maybe a few times. But Taylor Swift is also at the height of her like career. She is at the same time like the biggest pop star in the world right now. So it's just like a perfect storm. How do you feel about it? Do you care at all about that? Does it annoy you to watch us?
Nah, it ain't annoying. I think it's pretty cool to bring in, you know what I mean? Kind of merging these different fans and shit, fan bases, and get them intertwining and shit together.
Was it
I
Al
think it's hype,
Michaels from? Does he do NBC?
Yeah. No, I think Amazon now. I don't know. Or yeah. Anyways,
So
what's up?
this guy, the more I read about him, the funnier I find
Old
him to
man
be.
status, right?
He is
Al
such an old man.
Michaels? Yeah, he just
Yeah, Al
old man
Michaels.
status. Get off my lawn. Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently this dude has never eaten a vegetable in his life, which reminds me of Will. I don't know, but this guy just eats like meat. He's like has a carnivore diet. Have you ever heard about the carnivore diet?
Nah, man.
It's essentially
He ain't got gout. Damn.
no. So yeah, he apparently attests that you're fine if you don't eat vegetables. That was the thing. We could pull up a whole story, but I'm not going to waste everyone's time. But I know that's a headline out there. And then he was asked about the whole Taylor Swift thing, about why didn't you comment on Taylor Swift on Sunday Night Football whenever, or do they do Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football? I forget.
Yeah.
Either way, he was like, because I'm not covering like Access Hollywood. He just gave it a grumpy ass old man answer. It was like, that's a good. It's like, let's keep it to the game. I don't mind it if it's like, hey, look, Taylor Swift's here, cool. But when it's like, okay, every single play, you're showing the damn. I get it. Taylor Swift is at the game.
Showing them doing their handshakes and shit.
Yeah, that was a big thing. And
that's weird, man. Yeah, I guess you're right. That part's kind of stupid.
And a lot of people, I think I saw something like, Patrick Mahomes' wife has gotten a lot of shit. Some warranted, good reason. But a lot of people was like, look, well, Taylor Swift's being nice to her. She can't be such a piece of shit kind of person. And I'm like, it's funny that you're going around wondering if Brittany Mahomes is a piece of shit or not. Like how much space that's occupying in your mind. And the conversation is. But what do you have, Kyle? Spartans apologize for Hitler image on big screen. I heard about this. Okay. What was this about? I think there was some kind of ad. Michigan State issued an apology Saturday night after an image of Adolf Hitler was displayed on the video board
like
before
trivia.
the Spartans'
like
home game against Michigan. Yeah, okay. The image appeared as part of a trivia question about Hitler's place of birth. Poor taste. Michigan State later issued a statement on the video board saying the school uses a third party for the content and will no longer be using that company. So they basically just blamed the company that they hired for these trivia facts.
No accountability, huh? No accountability.
So here's the quote. We're deeply sorry for the content that was displayed, as this is not representative of our institutional values, Michigan State Associate Athletic Director Matt Larson said in his statement. Wow. No other quizzes were displayed on the video board during that game, which the Wolverines won 49-0. That is funny.
I saw Dave Chappelle had people walk out of his stand-up in Boston, touching on that.
Why is that?
The international. He closed his show on comments, about the international affairs going on right now. And
really?
Yeah. So, but yeah. What else I see, man? Even comedians, man, they ain't invincible, man, when it comes to the politics.
That's the funny thing about that, especially Dave Chappelle. He's such a big name. You have to have an idea of like what you're walking into in some degree, that nothing is off limits, and you really can't have any room to be offended. So it's funny that there still finds people in the world. Cal's sending him in. Yep.
Yeah. That's it right there. That was that one.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I used to sneak around, on campus at U of H. A lot of labs and stuff. Auditoriums. They got the computers hooked up. Man, I'll put some nasty ass pictures on the background, leave it on the monitor, and like leave. You know what I mean? For the class the next day to go to. Shit, that Hitler shit though, man. I don't even know why there's a trivia question about Hitler being played at a Michigan State game. You know what I mean?
Because it's about history. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad timing too. I mean, it's not. That's just poor taste either way. But it's like it's just kind of.
I tell you what, I'm gonna binge Loki because I think there are 3 or 4 episodes out
dude.
now. I'm gonna binge it and then we'll talk about it next week.
I tried to watch the one episode but my kids were yelling and I was like, nope, I am determined. So like, you ever do that thing where like you're trying to do something for yourself. You've maybe let the kid watch TV all day, but they're just being very. Like, well, yeah, well, like they're just
selfish.
kind of they're disturbing the time, and so even if like they're not watching, it's like it's not as enjoyable as it would be alone. But then in some way you're giving up. You're conceding to the kid. So I was hellbent like, no, this is my time. I'm not gonna let you win, even if this is miserable for me. I'm gonna watch it. So yeah, took back the power, baby. But yeah, I've got I'm like one episode in. It looks great. I mean, honestly, it's like the only.
Owen Wilson was Owen Wilson there?
Yeah, he's great. He's such a good character.
All right, good.
As
long as he's back episode 1, I thought they're gonna hold out.
And Kyle, I know you're watching on the side. You should, get into the Loki. It's like the one good Marvel series these days that's worth it. Tom Hiddleston, is good. But
yeah.
All right, man. Well, a little quickie tonight.
Let's call it a night, brother. Yeah, let's call it a night.
Thank you for joining, Kyle. Thank you for joining. We're gonna get the audio and our technical stuff worked out. I think I like the little video commentary. We'll kind of mark that up. We still need to mark up that one play where it's like Kyle threw that ball and Tank caught an amazing catch and he caught it out of bounds, or what we thought was out of bounds.
We're gonna do it.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna take down the topics of the day. I'm gonna bring us back in some good tunes, and I'm gonna set us off into the sunset. I hope you have a wonderful night. And
rest, brother. Get some rest.
Yeah, man. All right. So, who are you playing next week, coming up, or this week? What you got?
Cedar Will, who's hot right now.
Okay, so that's a bit of a North Shore Katie for you.
Yeah.
All right, well,
fucking right.
All right, man. Well, have a good one. I will talk to you in mañana. Kyle, thank you for joining in spirit. What?
Cyclops.
Oh yeah, look at the Cyclops.
Sometimes I feel like Superman, like I could fly around the world.